Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Robbie Rhino, and today's video is all about the American Tier 7 tank destroyer, the Super Hellcat, which you can get at level 75 in the British Invasion season if you have the season pass, and it really is super in my opinion. It's a really stealthy, really sneaky, very powerful tank destroyer. And I find that because you play that sneaky role, regardless of whether you are bottom tier, mid tier or top tier, you can influence the battle and you can have really nice results. I have 3 replays to show you, all are really nice games in this tank, and just show you how I played this sneaky tank destroyer and try and get the most out of it. So I'll talk you through a little bit about the tank and what gun it has, and then yeah, we'll talk about the gameplay in the background. So it has 850 hit points, which is, you know, it's not the best, is it? But it is a tier 7 tank destroyer. You will get 2 shot by a lot of tier 8s and 9s, and you can even get 1 shot if they roll high on some of the bigger guns. But if you play that sneaky role, you should be able to make the Super Hellcat last throughout the battle. And obviously the key is trying not to get spotted as you fire. It earns 35% silver bonus, which is always nice to earn extra silver. And it has a base view range of 380 meters. The gun is a 90mm gun with 240 alpha damage on its standard and its premium APCR rounds, and 320 alpha damage on its HE rounds. The penetration is 167 standard, 240 premium APCR, and 45mm of penetration on its HE rounds. As you can see, I just run the premium APCR because I have that luxury of having silver and a good commander, and if you have, you know, a reasonably decent result, you don't end up losing silver, and you might even make a little bit of silver. That's just my opinion, but you can still have really good results if you just decide to run, you know, some standard rounds as well as the premium APCR. It's got 8.45 rounds a minute base with a reload time base of 7.1 seconds. The accuracy is 0.35, which isn't all that good, but it feels quite reliable if you let it aim in fully, and you know, it seems to fly true. And obviously you get that down with your commander and equipment skills, which I'll talk you through in just a second. It's got a really nice base aim time of 1.7 seconds. It carries 47 rounds of ammunition, so it's usually enough, unless you have an absolutely epic game. It has 10 degrees of gun depression, which is really nice, and 17 degrees of elevation, which is absolutely fine. Mobility is very nice. It's got a 460 horsepower engine. Max speed going forward is 72 kilometers an hour and 20 kilometers an hour reverse. The turret reverse is something that you have to be wary about on this tank. It's only 22 degrees a second, and the hold reverse is 34 degrees a second, meaning you do have to move your hull and your turret at the same time if you want to acquire a target very quickly, or if something's circling you, you're going to have to move your hull a lot faster to get to sort of swing around your turret, if that makes sense. And you'll see that a little bit later on. I think it's in this replay or in the next couple of replays. But yeah, it's a very mobile tank. It's got a power to weight ratio of 23.54 horsepower to ton, which is really nice. It's yeah, you get into position nice and quickly, you get sort of all stealthed up, and then you sit here like I'm doing, as you can see in the gameplay in the background, firing through bushes and yeah, not getting spotted. So I'll just talk you through my equipment setup, which is advanced concealment, advanced optics and advanced loader. The loader, because I want my DPM to be as, you know, as good as possible. Optics, I want to outspot my opponents, and concealment because I want to stay hidden and I want to have that ability to outspot my opponents at sort of mid-range and even short range in some instances, because this is so sneaky. With my commander and equipment setup, I believe I have a stealth concealment rating of 211 meters, which is absolutely insane, and a view range now of 435 meters, which is really nice. On my commander, I run 6th Sense, Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Steady Aim, Rapid Aim, Snapshot, Camouflage Expertise, Silent Driving and Muffled Shot, all tailored to being that really stealthy, that really sneaky tank destroyer. And if you use foliage and you sort of use the view range and like cones on your mini map there, as you can see in the bottom right. You sort of get to learn the distances at where you probably will get spotted. Then you can play this, and yeah, you can fire with impunity there. Nothing's going to be able to spot you. Yeah, it's just an absolutely fantastic tank for playing that sneaky tank destroyer role. Very, very similar to the U-25 at tier 7. It's a larger profile, but it is still very, very sneaky. But yeah, just be wary that you are a slightly bigger target than the U-25. But yeah, as you can see there in the background, I'd had to swing my whole round because the turret traverse is very, very slow. So when you're acquiring targets that are going fast, you do have to sort of account for that. But yeah, it's extremely powerful. Yeah, and I absolutely love this tank, and you're going to see some really, really nice gameplay in the background where I'm basically just abusing my knowledge of maybe the maps and the view range mechanics. So in this game in the background on Erlenberg, which is really nice to play again after all this time, we've managed to pick up 2.7k direct damage and 1444 assistance damage. Going for the tracks here, but because of the 90mm slightly lower caliber, it might take a few shots for us to get the tracks off. I think we're just being a bit unlucky here, but we are still damaging at the same time. And yeah, this game's all well, and we're just trying to get the last little bit of damage out that we can. And yeah, this is a really, really nice result in a tier 9 game for a tier 7 tank destroyer. There's one tank left, but all on the other side of the map, and I think that'll be it for this game. I think that's all we're going to get. So that's, yeah, 1 kill, 3,238 direct damage, and 1,628 assistance damage, and that's the game. Really, really nice result. And yeah, we went toe to toe with tier 8 and tier 9 tanks in that one. So yeah, that's a victory. We finished second place. Lose a little bit of silver because of the premium APCR we're firing, but I'm not too worried about that. Confederate medal, first class, and yeah, really, really nice. Coming up to my first mark of excellence, and I highly recommend, if you're able to get this tank. It's really, really powerful. It's a really, you know, it's a blast to play, especially if you have a good commander and you set it up to be a sneaky tank destroyer. So that's it for the first replay. We're going to hop into the second replay, and I'll talk you through that one there. So we're now into the second replay of the video, and we're here on Mines, and this is actually one of my favourite maps. I know a lot of people don't like it because of the small nature of it, but I feel like there are some really powerful positions that you can definitely use if you're in a tank like this, and the position that I want to go to when I'm in a tank like this is the centre. I know it can be hotly contested, and sometimes you're going to go there and be swarmed by some platoons on enemy teams and all faster mediums and light tanks, but if you can win the center location, you have really nice positions to use foliage and cover to stay hidden and shoot all around the map, and it's a really, really important location. You've got the high ground and yeah, it's really important to win it, I think, and I'm just going to head towards there. It's a tier 8 game, and I've had a little look at the minimap, and I feel like I'm going to be one of the first ones there. I've seen a medium tank behind me that's coming up, and yeah, we're uncontested. We've won the hill, and hopefully that means that we're going to be able to dominate the game. And these are the positions that I think are so powerful. As you can see there, straight off the bat, we've spotted about 3 tanks and their artillery. We're just going to try and get our shell in to finish the artillery. Unfortunately, the artillery goes in behind cover, so we're going to just pull back so he doesn't shoot us, re-stealth, and then we're going to be able to sort of, yeah, just rinse and repeat these sort of positions. You can use these bushes, and as you can see, this absolutely fantastic camo rating. And this poor Italian tier 7 doesn't have a chance really unless we fire, and even then he still might not be able to spot us. And you can see all this assistance raining in from the artilleries on our team, and this is one of the games and one of the tanks similar to light tanks that you're going to be kind of thankful sometimes that you have artillery to be able to shoot what you're spotting. And this is kind of perfect position here. You can just fire with impunity through these through the grass, through the trees, through the bushes. I fire in, I'm just ripping apart this 3001p, and there's nothing he can do about it because I'm unspotted. He is, and yeah, I've got possibly a better commander, I've got better camo rating, and I'm just going to be able to shoot all these tanks without getting spotted. And I know some people sort of like to debate the issue whether they think it takes more skill to play Cold War or World War II, and to be perfectly honest, I think it are just two different game modes, and they both take a different kind of skill set. World War II takes a lot of knowledge of the game mechanics and the spot and distances and the view range and all that kind of thing, and that's something that you just pick up over time. And Cold War might be slightly sort of a friendlier game mode for newer players because of the true vision system, but once you get the hang of this sort of spotting and the shooting through foliage, then you'll be able to abuse the game mechanics and abuse your knowledge, and yeah, absolutely decimate the enemy. And in that short space of time, we've picked up 2.7k direct damage and 1050 assistance. And yeah, I think we've been even spotted about 2 or 3 times so far. So when you're going through these bushes, you go forward into the bushes until you can see through the bush, and then you're able to spot the opponents. And when you want to fire, to get the full concealment value of the foliage, you're going to want to pull back behind the bush so that it's opaque, and then when you fire through, you're going to get the full concealment factor of the foliage. Not all bushes in the game work, or it doesn't feel like they work, but yeah, for the majority of the time, that is how it works, and that's how you're going to want to use the bush mechanics in the game. And we're just going to keep going around this hill, trying to spot different tanks on different sides of the map. You do have to be careful on this hill. Tanks below me, like that CDC that was below me, if you get too close within 50 meters, you will get proximity detected regardless of your concealment rating. So yeah, you do have to be wary of that. But yeah, as you can see, the impact that we have had from just having this location, the high ground, the view range and the concealment, we've managed to sort of spot all the enemy tanks out. A few of them are panicked, a few of them got ruined at the start of the game, and we were at a advantage right from the get-go. Fortunately, that GW Tiger P, or GW Tiger Pig as I like to call it, misses us. I guess I was just taking a chance there, trying to get the final shell to kill him off. But yeah, we've had another really nice game. We finished that Barracuda off as he pokes through, and now we're going to go after this CDC Black, which is the last tank on the enemy team. He's going after our heavy, so I'm going to try and just poke over and get a shot in to help out this heavy tank. I think I might have a little bit of a physics moment. I'm coming down the hill. Am I going to kill myself? No, fortunately I managed to do that in style. Fire on the move, which is not very, not highly recommended in this tank. It doesn't matter though. We've got hit points to spare. We do a little bit of ram just to show off at the end there. But yeah, we pick up a really nice game there again. 3.8k direct damage. Another victory. 3 kills, 1.2k assistance damage. We make a little bit of silver, first class high caliber Confederate medal there, and 2,000 base experience points. So another really nice game. And in the next replay I'll be able to show you an even better game where I'm able to show you a really nice location on one of the newly reinstated maps. So I'll go over there and I'll see you there in a bit. So we're now in the third and final replay of the video, and we're here on Erlenberg once again like we were in the first replay in this video. This is one of the newly updated and reinstated maps, and this map was kind of a bit like Marmite. It was either loved or hated when it was back in rotation all that time ago. And that's basically because it kind of becomes sometimes like a bit of a camp fest. Obviously you have these two hills to the east and the west, and a lot of players like to sort of just sit on these hills and just camp there. And if you don't have players that are willing to sort of push the tempo and try and play a little bit aggressive and try and spot out, then you can sort of end up just running the clock down, and it ends up, I don't know, in a draw, or it's just decided on who gets the most damage, etc. And yeah, it could have got a little bit boring, but I always like to play this map kind of aggressive. And the position you're going to go to is one that I know about just because I've played this map so many times, and maybe some of the newer players might not know about it. But this is a really nice position to be able to get a lot of assistance and spot out the enemy team at the start of the battle. So I'm going up here to A0. I'm hugging the edge of the map so I don't get spotted by the tanks, like that medium tank that push down into sort of the B8 location. And I'm going to come up to here, to this little corner here, and you spot all these tanks. And this is like a bit of a brawling zone that a lot of heavies like to sort of fight at. And I'm just going to sit here, and as you can see, We're about 380 meters away from that. Is it the Protetto 46? Yep. And we're able to fire without getting spotted. And we're going to be also spotting him as well. And as soon as he comes back, we're going to get a shot in and finish him off within the first couple of minutes of the battle for 640 direct damage. And here I'm able to spot out tanks like that paladin there. I'm able to stay hidden. I'm trying to use those trees in front of me. There isn't too many here, but I'm able to use the trees where possible to try and stay hidden. And yeah, we're going to just try and get shots in whenever we can. And because in this location when we're firing we're going to be getting spotted, and because there are 2 artillery on the enemy team, I'm going to try and get re-stealthed every single time before I go up and fire again. And you are playing a bit of a risky game here purely because of the artillery. If there's no artillery, then this is an even better location, but you are slightly on a downward slope, and if artillery try and shoot at me, I'm just taking that risk that they're going to miss. And sometimes you've just got to take those risks if you want to have those really epic games. So I'm just going to keep sort of poking up, keep spotting, keep trying to get damage in where I can. And yeah, we're just going to try and abuse this position. It's a really powerful position. It's a really good position if you have sort of about 10 degrees or more of gun depression. And if you're in like a heavy tank with good turret armor and there's no artillery here, this is a really nice position to sit, hold down, and sort of, yeah, decimate the enemy as they come around this corner. Because where that sort of Minotaur is right now, a lot of tanks sort of converge there. We come from our spawn to the corner of that hill there, and we sort of just battle it off. And this is a nice place to get crossfire. And as soon as you clear out some of these tanks here on this hill, you're able to push forwards onto that ridgeline and spot all those tank destroyers hiding at the back, and you're able to get a lot of assistance. So we've already picked up 1627 direct damage and 621 assistance, and that is going up ever so slowly as this Minotaur comes round. We're trying to avoid his shells just by moving as much as possible. I feel we're probably going to lose at least 1 shot of damage, but we managed to take out a tier 8 just for losing 1 shot of damage, which I'm very happy with, and I feel like I've made a really big impact in this game already, so I'm very happy what I've done. And now, like I just talked about, we've cleared this sort of first corner, so I'm going to push up to this little ridgeline here. I'm going to poke over and see what I can spot, and usually you have a whole row of tank destroyers and medium tanks all sat down here, and even heavy tanks, as you can see. And I'm going to be the one to spot them because I'm the first one here, so I'm going to push over and see what I can spot. And you have the houses here to use for cover. You have a slope either side, so if you get spotted you're able just to shoot back down the hill. That's a Sturmpanzer. I'm going to wait until he's as far away as possible before firing. I still get spotted, but I'm able to shoot behind this house and stay hidden from all the tanks and the artillery. And all that I'm spotting now, my artillery is able to hit. And again, sometimes artillery are really nice when they're on your team because they're giving you that lovely juicy assistance damage. We fire on the move because I wasn't going to be able to stop and fire there anyway, and we're going to get underneath their gun lines. And you might get YOLO'd here, and I think I do in a bit, but you're baiting them into stupidity. This is a tier 9 medium tank coming after a tier 7 tank destroyer, and as you're going to see, he's going to lose his tank for it. We managed to get a nice shot into there, tracking him on that hill, exposing him for my whole team. We're just going to try and run rings around him. You can see I'm having a bit of trouble with the turret traverse because it's a bit slow, but if you free aim, you'll be more likely to hit your shots. Auto aim in there, your turret won't be able to keep up with him. This ISU comes over, but we get a lovely tracking shot into him on that hill, and he gets absolutely wrecked by my team. And yeah, the impact that we've had is really good in this battle, and you're seeing just how good this tank does it. Playing that stealthy role and then going in, using its very nice DPM, and using its mobility at the end of the game to really push the damage numbers up. We get a shot there into the GW Tiger Pig. Unfortunately we miss, but we're going to be able to finish that Tiger off, and yeah, look at those numbers. I mean, this is a tier 7 tank destroyer, and yeah, we've had a really big impact. We've got 5 kills, finish MVP, make some nice silver, 3.4k direct damage, we get a mastery badge, sniper medal, 2.6k assistance, and yeah, 2.2k fast-paced experience, and yeah, a really nice game. And I think these replays just show you how to play this tank, how to get the most out of it, how good it is at playing that sneaky tank destroyer role, and I think it's a lot of fun. And the skin is pretty cool. As you can see, there's a little pin-up girl on there. Yeah, highly recommended. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments of this tank, and whether you like it more or less than the E25. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're all having a great week. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video. So for now, I'll see you on the battlefield, and bye for now.